going on, everyone? Jack here from Half Chrome, and this is the DJI Air 2S. Now, I've had this thing since it was released on April 15th earlier this year, and it is a fantastic drone. In fact, this is now my new go-to drone. I love this thing. I love the 1-inch sensor. I love a whole lot about it. However, there are some things that I don't really like about this drone and some things that I think should be better. So I'm going to tell you the 10 things about this drone that I don't like. 10 things that could be better. Stay tuned. If you think that I'm way off base, let me know. I accept all challenges. I think this is a fantastic drone, but I also think it could be better. And these are the things that I'm not super keen about. In fact, I think DJI needs to take a look at this list when they make their Mavic 3 Pro, and these are things that should be on that drone or fixed for that drone at least. All right, let's get into it. Okay, now this guy was released with 2 additional obstacle avoidance sensors, and I like that. But what? They're in the front, on the top. Is that necessary? Again, I almost never crash into things that are in front of me. I can see them. I don't need obstacle avoidance here. Where they should have put them are right here on the sides. This is where you're at most risk of crashing your drone, especially if you're doing an orbit or some sort of automated flight mode. You can't see things on the side or behind you. Now we have them on the back, that's great, but why not on the side? Why put them on the front? We already have 2 there. We've just got these 2 kind of angled upward, kind of an awkward, goofy place to put them, especially since I have 2 here and I don't have any on the sides. That would have absolutely been a better place to put obstacle avoidance on this drone. Now, my second gripe about this drone is actually, I think, related, although I'm not totally positive. You know, why would they put these 2 sensors here, these 2 additional sensors from the Mavic Air 2 on the front, on the top? My thought was we're going to get compatibility with the DJI digital FPV system. We're going to be able to fly it with these goggles, and not just that, but also this remote control, this motion sensing controller. You know, I don't quite get releasing this with the FPV drone. Yes, it's cool. Yeah, it's great as a combo, but really this controller would be great for a photography drone for a whole lot of different reasons. And who wouldn't want the immersive view of these goggles? Neither one of these things are compatible as of right now. Now, they were supposed to be. There were a lot of people that were told that these things would work. But at the end of the day, they still don't. So maybe in the future, but as of right now, these things not compatible with the Air 2S. Now, one of the things that DJI did release that I do really like is the Mastershots mode. This drone will fly a bunch of different patterns, close orbit, far orbit, zooming in and out, really some good shots. And actually, I think the Mastershots, you need to use them, not necessarily because what they create, but the shots, those are things you need to master as a pilot. Actually, it's really nice for B-roll. Now, the thing I don't like about the Mastershots is what it produces, right? There just isn't enough flexibility. I don't like the song choices. I want to be able to edit them a little bit more. Instead, I find I don't ever use what DJI produces. I end up creating my own with the master shots that it recorded, with that longer 2-minute video. You know, I take shots from that myself. So a little bit more freedom or some better choices perhaps in the master shots would be kind of nice. Okay, coming from the Mavic Air 2, something I really loved about their drone was the HDR video, and it was fantastic. Great colors for people that didn't want to mess with color grading. It was a really nice option. Now, I do have HDR photos, which is super cool, but I no longer have that ability to do HDR video. And if you're not into color grading, that's really kind of disappointing. The HDR video on the Air 2 was fantastic. Why did it go away? I really like that thing. Number 5 is something that I haven't seen in a DJI release before, and that's a downgrade. When you go from the Mavic Air 2 to the Air 2S, you actually lost flight time. Now, I understand there's a whole lot more going on inside of this drone, but we actually lost 3 minutes of flight time. So from 34 to 31 minutes. Yeah, that's still pretty good, but really, when new drones get released and it's pretty much the same platform, why are we losing flight time? I guess we have some extra weight, we've got more processing power. That's just a little bit disappointing. Couldn't they tweak the ESCs or the flight controller or maybe even some propellers, I don't know. I just feel like it was a little lazy to not at least get us the same amount of flight time. Maybe not. I know there's a lot going into these things, but downgrade in flight time is a little disappointing. My next gripe is this. This is the bag you get with the Fly More combo. Now, generally speaking, I'm not a fan of bags, and this one in particular, not my favorite. There just isn't a whole lot of room in here if I want to bring my tablet along with me or a few other accessories. I can't fit them in this bag. I would like something with a little bit more room. I mean, it's almost identical to the bag you get with the Mini 2 Fly More combo. Kind of disappointing. Now, this is the Mini 2, and to get this thing in and out of the bag is actually pretty simple because they gave you this propeller holder, right? Again, I'm not a big fan of that bag either, but I can get this in and out without the props flopping all around because they gave me this holder because of this small bag. But they didn't give us a prop holder for this. That's like a really easy thing to design, and it's just kind of a pain when you're messing, make sure the propellers are in the right place, getting in and out of the bag. You know, the workaround is you could 3D print some, and I did, and that helps, but again, not a big fan of this. Now, the next one isn't a feature that I was expecting, but it is something that I hope to see on the Mavic 3 Pro, and that is a variable aperture. Yes, we've got a fixed aperture on this guy, and I guess asking for that would have been a whole lot, especially since there are plenty of ND filters that I can throw on this, but a variable aperture would have been pretty sweet. Okay. My next gripe here is software related. I don't have waypoints. I'd actually really like to have the ability to dolly zoom with this. I can do digital zoom in video, but I can't do a dolly zoom. That was kind of a really fun feature of the Mavic 2 Zoom that should be able to be done via software. And also another thing I'd like to see on these drones is an indoor mode. Yes, I can go in and mess around with the settings to make sure I don't have a return to home where it flies back up and back, but having a button like on my Evo 2 Pro where I can put it into indoor mode, just super quick and easy, and I don't have to go through menus and settings to set it so it's a little bit safer indoors, that would be nice. Speaking of zoom, so I'm missing the dolly zoom. I'd love to see that, but also, why can't I zoom in photo mode? Yes, I know I can zoom in post-processing, but sometimes if I'm in photo and I just want to get a closer look at my subject, it'd be nice to not have to switch to video and then back to photo. So why can't I do that? Seems pretty simple. That should be there. My next gripe here is actually something you can see on the remote controller itself. You'll see that my 3 options for speeds are Cine, Normal, and Sport. Now, it used to be tripod mode, and I found the tripod mode to be really slow and smooth. Chris and I actually disagree over this. He prefers the Cine mode. I like tripod because it's great for flying indoors, tight spaces, and even trainings. I find it useful. Now, this Cine mode is slower, but really, like, it's not really that noticeably different from normal mode, except for maybe in the yaw movement. So why can't I tweak that? I really enjoyed the tripod mode over the Cine mode. It just doesn't seem all that different from normal. I just worked the sticks a little bit smoother in normal mode, and I have the same effect. So tripod mode would have been nice, or at least the ability in the menu to switch from Cine to tripod. That would be cool to kind of get those slow, smooth, buttery shots. Okay, so that's my list of 10 things that I think could be better for this drone. Now, keep in mind, this is my favorite drone. I love this thing. This is my go-to. This is what I take with me. But I do think it could be better. I do think there are some improvements we could have with this. Now, I don't see DJI fixing a lot of that stuff for this drone, but I think you'll see some of these improvements on the Mavic 3 Pro, or perhaps a DJI Air 3S, but I don't think that's coming anytime soon. So what do you think? Did I miss anything? Are there things about this drone that drive you crazy? Let me know in the comments below. Or am I way off base? Let me know down below as well. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If it was, give us a thumbs up. If not, give us a thumbs down. Tell us what we did wrong and we'll fix it for next time. Special shout out to our Patreons. Thanks for supporting us on the channel. Now, we do give a drone away at least once a month to one of these lucky Patreon subscribers, and that could be you joining the fun. Links down below. Make sure to check out our website and our other social media. Good luck, everyone, and happy flying.